Hello all, I'm Ananya Mariv Rajesh, the Associate Sub-Editor at Fibre2Fashion, and today with me I have GHCL Textiles CEO Marshal Sonavane. Thank you so for joining us today. And one of the first questions I have is you turned an independent company a couple of years ago. And what has been the strategic priorities that you've been making and what are those for the next 3 to 5 years that you have?
So GHCL, I think, demerged in 23. And I think last 3 years have been a journey of setting up the foundations. Right? Now we are at a situation where we can look forward to growth. I think last few years, we have sort of expanded our capacity in spinning, right? So we added almost 65,000 spindles, which is almost an increase of about 40-50% of our existing capacity. Now we are almost 225,000 spindles. We produce about 130 tons per day. I think we are in a situation where we can look forward to the growth. And generally, the macroeconomic environment has become very good for the textile industry in India. For the next couple of years, our priority is to go towards becoming a ready-to-cut fabric supplier rather than only a spinning supplier, right? So we are putting up fabric making capacities. We are going towards more processing and probably garmenting as well, right? So I think that is the journey which we want to take up. And we have the right foundations in place to take up that journey. And I think in the next couple of years, we'll see us progressing. In the last few years, we have started making fabrics. So we almost produce about 300 tons knitted fabric, which we see at the background as well. We almost do about 20 lakh meters of woven fabric as well. Right? So today, most of our, let's say 12% of our revenue comes from fabric, which gradually will go towards a higher number, right? And I'm not putting a number here, right? But it will progress further, and we will sort of come up as a ready-to-cut fabric suppliers to our customers.
So, how important do you think is positioning yourself in the ready to cut segment, given the fact that there's a diversified sourcing need currently because the China plus one strategy is happening? So, how is GHCL here trying to get into that ready to cut segment?
So I think globally, if you see, companies are moving towards more forward integration because typically, as close to the customer you are able to perform better and control the entire value chain. I think that is the philosophy of most of the large players. That is the direction we also want to move in. And the entire China plus one concept is actually accelerating now. I think about 10 years back, China used to have almost 35-40% of the global market share, which they have started to shed. Unfortunately, a large part of that has also gone to Vietnam and Bangladesh. But with the recent changes and the FTAs which government has signed and a lot of effort has been gone in that direction, I think that puts the entire textile industry in a good space. There will be a lot of demand which will come our way. And for companies like GHCL, which are foundationally strong, financially strong, and very ethical, with ultra-modern units, it puts them in a very good stead to take benefit from this. I think this is the culture we take forward for our vertical integration journey as well. The way we have established ourselves in the spinning segment, where we are known for producing one of the most top quality yarns in India, supplying to probably the best global customers. I think that is the same philosophy we take forward when we go to the ready-to-cut fabric supplier.
And at Bharat Tex that GHCL is currently present, sustainability is one of the key topics. So, what do you think is GHCL doing in the sustainable realm, and how has innovation be there for?
Yeah. So today also we procure almost 75% of our energy for renewable energy sources. A large part of that is our own. I think that is point number one, which we are doing on sustainability. We say in our company that sustainability is woven into every fabric, right? And that is the philosophy we live with. So today, 75% of our total energy procurement is through renewable energy sources. While it is not important for a spinning company, but we have still cut down our freshwater consumption by almost about 50%. We have been able to recycle 50% of water and use them primarily for domestic purposes because spinning does not take a lot of water. But whatever our residents are, we have hostel facilities and people coming in. For the domestic usage, we have been using almost 50% of recycled water.
So, do you think it's important, even if you don't use so much of water, to recycle it? Given European Union has got the digital product passport, the EPR. So traceability becomes a thing. So is that one of your focus right now?
Yes, definitely. And even before that, it is important as a uh, environmentally conscious citizen for a company to be ensuring that whatever water or resources they can save, it is important. I think it should first start with yourself, right? And then whatever the world demands in a way. But yes, I think more and more these things will start to become important. And again, I said that because we have been thinking this from a very long time, it puts us in a very good condition when we sort of go and approach and tell the brands our story, right? So I think from that point of view, yes, it definitely helps us.
And given the changing global market right now, what are your key emerging growth markets for GHCL and India in general that you see?
So if you see, India has signed all or will be signing FTAs with most of the large markets, right? So US is closer, EU has been signed, UK has been signed.
Today it's in.
Yeah, yeah. We are in discussion with Canada. I think Australia has been done, Japan has been done, Korea. So I think almost 12, 13 important markets have been done, right? So uh, for India, I think US and Europe are primarily the large markets, followed by UK, Middle East, Japan. From a GHCL perspective, we do not have a lot of direct exposure to US, but we have a lot of indirect exposure because the companies we work with, they export a lot to US and Europe market. So definitely, I think a second order benefit we will definitely get, right? But as we sort of move forward to becoming a fabric supplier, then there will be direct exports as well.
And given the geopolitical situation currently, you have tariff, you have war, you have logistic concerns. How is GHCL working? I mean, you're not probably, you're on the starting of the value chain, right? But you're climbing up the vertical ladder. So how are you seeing that difference?
So yes, it has become very challenging. I think if you take last 15, 18 months, has been like this, right? Every time there is one more or something else happens which sort of disturbs the entire planning which you have done. We can't control that, right? So we live with it and we try to do whatever best we can. What is in your control is your operations, your planning, right? Your organization. I think these are the direction we work on. And of course, your physical assets in terms of your machinery and everything. So we, number one, modernize our assets. Our average age would be less than 10 years of our equipment, while the industry standard could be about 20 years or more. Second part, we are very strong on our planning of raw materials. I think that always puts us in a condition where we are able to supply our customers consistently, right? The third part is on our operational excellence. So every year we sort of have this cost takeout programs, getting better and better at what you do, right? And the fourth part is our focus on strategic customers, right? Where we work with selected large customers where we are able to help them in their overall supply chain as well.
Thank you so much, Marshall. It was so lovely talking to you. Okay, good.